Hey YouTube, Appalachian ADV Rider here again, coming to you with another knife unboxing. Alright, well, we got a couple more coming. This is the next one in the journey here. So let's just get right to it. I've got things to do, and I want to be able to carry this. So let's open this package. I don't have a lot of room here, so pardon me. All right, what do we got? Got a receipt. Some stickers. There we go. There we go. That's the name of the knife company. Quiet Carry. That's what we have. When I first started getting back into knives, one of the first companies I got involved in was this company here. So SOG, Spyderco, and then Quiet Carry. And what happened was I was looking for something I could carry on the motorcycle. And this knife, or this company, kept on coming up as a opportunity for me to find the perfect knife, because they made knives out of rust-proof material, such as Vanex Super Clean, and it's actually the only company making a folding knife in that blade steel is Quiet Carry. So they made in Vanex Super Steel and LC200N, and they have a line of knives called the ES line, and it's like Everyday Salt, I think it's called. So it's like their version of the Salt series. So this Quiet Carry here is the Chase. Look at that. They always have such a great presentation. One of the things you know when it's a Quiet Carry is they have these 4 dots. So, that feels good. This is a G10, but it's just really smooth. The attention to detail with Quiet Carry products is really just impeccable. They're not made in America. I think they're made in Taiwan, but it's a secret, I guess. And maybe it's not a secret anymore. I don't know. It's been a while since I done the research, but at the time, it's this guy that's in California. He's a one-man operation. He designs the knives, and then he sends them out to be made somewhere else at an OEM. Wow. But look at this. I mean, in every knife that he has, there's such a great attention to detail. Let me get this off the table. Did you hear that? Anyway, that was a Demko AD20. All right, so his knives has always had such a great attention to detail, and I still am very much interested in knives that are rust resistant and almost nearly rust proof based on how I'm using it. So this company still is making products. I have several of them. I can go through them later. I'm not going to do it now because I want to focus on this knife. This is my first impression of this knife and this knife alone. So it feels compact. It has outstanding feel of quality, which is extremely common for Quiet Carry. That's what they do. Everything they do is perfect. Everything is rounded. The tolerances are tight. Let's try to, before I praise this thing, let's open it. So this blade is made out of LC200N. So this is a rust-proof steel, and the history behind it was that it was made for NASA for their ball bearings in the space shuttle program. So it didn't. This steel doesn't rust, and it doesn't expand and contract based on changes in the temperature. So this is a drop point with a nice swedge to it. It's not a real thick blade stock, but it's a flat grind. Let's see. The jimping here is not too aggressive. I mean, I've heard people say it's real aggressive. Maybe that was an earlier version. I'm not even sure. They had a version of this knife that had a hole in it and didn't have a thumb stud. So this is a thumb stud version to it. It's a liner lock. And I like this design to like a liner frame lock. Or actually, I like the liner lock in these designs where the locking mechanism is located here. Instead of a frame lock, I like a liner lock. And the reason why I like that is because the liner lock is covered by a scale. And so you can handle this knife and grab it and don't worry about jamming this liner lock into the knife. I'm assuming this steel here is LC200N, but I don't really know for sure, so don't quote me on that. So actually, don't even quote. Take that back. They typically use high-end steels on their ES version because it's a salt series type, but I'm not really sure. Sometimes they just say it's boat grade material, and that just means they're afraid to tell you what it is. So this is a small knife. It's almost like a gentleman's knife. When I first started getting back into knives, I was thinking, not only do I want a rust-proof knife, but I want a smaller package knife because I'm working in an office, and at the time the job I had, they wouldn't be really cool about me having a knife. So I would like something with a deep concealed, which is what this is. Quiet Carry has this design where they do a lot of deep carry clips on their knives, especially these smaller ones, because they're designed to be hidden, to be small. So that this feels like a good clip. I haven't tried it yet in my pocket. I'm not gonna. I'll cover that in my review. I like the shape of this knife. The guy who designs these knives has a real sense of style. I mean, it's almost like he's Italian. And I don't know if you understand what that comment means, but the Italians have a sense of design flair. I mean, if you look at their handbags and sports cars and sunglasses and you name it, shirts and clothing, the shoes, they just they're on a different wavelength. And this guy's sort of the same. I mean, I like the fact that you can tell when he makes a knife when you see these 4 dots. I said I wasn't going to do this, but I'm just pull out real quick the other Quiet Carry knives I have. So as you see, they all have the dots, and these 3 here are like in the Assault series or an ES series, and then this one is not, and I forgot the designation of that, but this is the IQ. He's got an LMAX blade. Anyway, but you can see he designs deep carry clips. So all of these are deep carry. They all have a small form factor. I think his most recent knife is a little bit bigger, which I didn't order. There's just so much, and I think it's in 20 CV. He's moved to 20 CV. I think he's abandoned Vanek steel, which is a shame because I'm just in love with the concept of that steel. Cedric and Ada has done lots of tests on Vaneks, and it's an amazing stainless steel. I think it's just really expensive, so the industry has not adopted it, I believe, but I'm not sure why it hasn't really, taken the market by storm, because it's on paper, it's just an amazing steel. And actually, in practicality, it's a great steel. These two are Vaneks. I mean, this here, Quiet Carry Drift, is probably the best Quiet Carry. Anyway, I said I wasn't going to do this. I'm pulling this to the side. So there's the design stuff from this amazing gentleman in California. All right, so look at this. Even his screws are designed. It's got like a rim around it, and then the T tool is inserted inside. Um, it's just fancy. I don't know. I mean, it could be a simple stamped piece of metal, but it's not. All right, let's open it. Let's see what else. So how does this flick? Flicks pretty good. I think this is. I'm pretty sure this is a washer knife. And yes, it is. So he also does. Not only does it does small rust-proof knives, he also makes them somewhat hard use. Though the steel here is the blade stock is not as thin as it might appear because it's swedged up here. But it's I wouldn't say this is a hard use blade, but it's got some hard use aesthetics to it. So it's got G10 where this can take a licking and keep on ticking. LC200N is a top stainless steel, and the phosphor bronze washers. All right, so ergonomics. Knife is good. The only thing I would say is there's a hot spot for sure right here. The pocket clip and maybe even it's got to be just the pocket clip. Yeah, it's the pocket clip. It's like right here is a hot spot. This is definitely not a hard use knife. This is something I plan to do is just throw it in my pocket in my motorcycle jacket on the outside. If it rains, I don't care. I mean, I have, if you follow the channel, I have several knives that I carry for that purpose, and this could be one of them. All right, so I'm happy I got this knife. I'm going to put it to its test paces here. It's a small package. Let me see. I can get, surprisingly, I've got big hands and I can get all 4 fingers on this knife. That's what I'm saying. This guy, there's something about his designs that I really like. I don't think I measured this, so let's give you some specs on it. And by the way, this knife is being discontinued. So rush out and get it right now. You can still get it. I think it's really worth it. This is 7 inches long, open. It's a 3-inch blade. And the actual cutting edge is like 2 3/4, from the choil here. And you want to count it from there anyway, because you got the thumb stud. So that's going to be in the cutting path behind the choil. So it's just everything's rounded. The only sharp spot is right here. It's not a drop shut knife because it's got phosphor bronze washers, and I just got it. It's smooth to the touch. It's compact. It's a deep carry, and it's a rust-proof designed knife. And I'm pretty sure that all the hardware here is going to be designed to be rust-proof or rust resistance from a high degree. Not just your normal steels, but all this other stuff is like that. That has the ES designation to it. So what you see here, there's some jimping inside the locking mechanism here. There's plenty of room to put my finger in there. The lock bar is stiff, but it's not impossible to move. It does need a lock bar stabilizer because the scales hold this knife in place. Prevents the lock bar from opening up too much. Plus, I'm pretty sure this is some sort of steel and not titanium. So steel has a better ability to bend without reshaping. So, what else? So this is definitely not a drop shut knife, as you can see. It does have a sharpening choil, which is really nice. And I like this swedge. So I guess, what is this? Like a saber grind with a saber with a flat grind. Nice swedge here. Everything's rounded. I really like that. Their stone washing is nice. I like their stone washing. Quiet Carry does this thing where they put their clip inside the knife, and it's attached from, you have to pull the knife apart to take the clip off. But I really like this design. It's elegant. And this is sort of like a gentleman's knife. I mean, it's a Salt Series gentleman's knife. But look at the attention to detail they do here, where the back space matches the is sandwiched in between the scales and the steel. It's just real symmetrical, real cool colors. You can't really feel the transition too much between the surfaces. This does not have a lanyard hole, this knife, and this is the only position the pocket clip could be in. It doesn't look like there's any other place for it to be. I have to assume that this is going to be captured, since there's no way of holding this in, but don't quote me on that one. All right. Let's see, anything else? So the liners do have some weight reduction milling inside. On one side more than the other. But that's good. I mean, this knife, oh, I didn't weigh this with knife. Let's weigh it. It's going to be light. 3.2 ounces for, for me, that's pretty light, considering this is a stainless steel knife too. I mean, it's not even considering that. It has nothing to do with the blade shape. The lightness of this has nothing to do with the fact that this is stainless steel. So, but I mean, I prefer a knife with a little bit of weight, and this probably breaks some rules, right? An ounce per inch, or I don't know, but I like it. I don't care. I like it. How many grams is that? That's 90 grams. All right. Well, listen, I really thank you for joining me, and I enjoyed having these conversations and showing you the knives that I love carrying, and the knives I've discovered, and having conversations with y'all about what you like. So, thank you again for joining me. Please subscribe to the channel, like this video. I'm trying to grow the channel, and it's it's slower than I thought it would be, but I'm not doing it for the audience size, but it would be nice to have more people watching. I really enjoyed spending my time with y'all, and I hope you're enjoying it as well. I will see y'all later, and thanks again. Bye.